Hello, and welcome to Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Daniel Pineda. We have a great program this week. We have our news stories, community bulletin board, and 55 plus news. But first, a social media reminder. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also on Facebook and WERA 96.7 FM. And now on to our first news story for this week. Arlington County's COVID case site has reported that they now update only on a weekly schedule, with the most recent data being dated May 9th. Based on recent weeks, we would normally have been May 12th. The reason for the reporting date change is unknown. The total case count on that day was 45,469. As for vaccinations, we examined Arlington County's vaccination tracker. The most recent date for that site was also changed, in this case, to May 8th. As of that date, 199,578 Arlingtonians aged 5 and above have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. They show that figure as 88% of their estimated eligible population of 226,754 Arlingtonians. 27,176 Arlingtonians remain unvaccinated. And now on to our next news story for this week. Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for 5 through 11-year-olds is still available at the following locations. Arlington Mill Community Center, that's located at 909 South Dinwiddie Street, and Walter Reed Community Center, that's located at 2909 16th Street South. Walk-ins for 5 through 11-year-olds are available Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. For more information, consult the Arlington County website.
Arlington County recently announced the opening of John Robinson Jr. Town Square, a community gathering and celebration of Green Valley's rich cultural heritage. The Arlington County Board officially named the town square in Green Valley as John Robinson Jr. Town Square as part of a grand opening celebration on Saturday, May 7, 2022. John Robinson Jr. Town Square was developed as the anchor for the village center in parallel with the 4 Mile Run Valley initiative. Its features and improvements include open space and a plaza, public art, an outdoor stage, neighborhood history and community information, sidewalks and pedestrian improvements, as well as seating and tables. The space was designed by award-winning landscape architect and artist Walter Hood. Mr. Hood took inspiration for the design from the history and community of Green Valley. John Robinson Jr. Town Square is composed of a set of diagonal walkways laid over a street grid, creating a place that allows for a variety of community programs, including markets, festivals, and daily leisure, a desired key feature identified during meetings with the Green Valley Civic Association. The primary design feature of the town square is the Freed sculpture, a 30-foot tall beacon which pays homage to the notion of freedom. The project is supported in part by an award from the National Endowment for the Arts. John Robinson Jr. was born in Arlington in 1934. He was a community activist who fought for decades against racial injustice and inequality in Northern Virginia. Mr. Robinson published the Green Valley News, a free African-American publication that circulated in Green Valley for more than 45 years. Mr. Robinson also founded and led the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center in the neighborhood and organized food, clothing, and furniture drives for local families. In November 2020, the County Board approved naming the town square in Green Valley as John Robinson Jr. Town Square. Arlington is evaluating results from the first year of what they call Vision Zero, the critical pedestrian and cyclist safety initiative, with the goal for residents, commuters, and visitors to arrive safely to their destinations no matter their means of traveling in the county. The Vision Zero Year 1 annual report summarizes progress made on each of the more than 90 action items set forth within the 5-year action plan during the first year of the program. Some noteworthy examples of safety efforts conducted in Year 1 include completion of the 2020 Crash Hotspot Analysis and Action Strategy, review of Arlington's high injury network corridors via safety walk audits, facilitation of 55 transportation safety classes or events with more than 2,800 attendees, expansion of the county's automated enforcement capabilities, including the red light camera program and the laying of the groundwork for a new speed camera program. Introduction of 20-mile-per-hour school slow zones in 11 neighborhoods to test speed reduction strategies that will improve safety around Arlington County schools. And collaboration with the Virginia Department of Transportation to improve safety on state-maintained roadways. The county is kicking off the program's second year by launching a critical traffic crash awareness program. The campaign runs from May through December of 2022 and will concentrate on different behaviors each month, starting with Bike Awareness Month in May. Look for critical traffic crash awareness messaging this summer. And remember, always stay aware of your surroundings, no matter how you get around. For our final news item, on May 12th, the Arlington School Board unanimously approved a $749.9 million budget for the 2022-23 school year. It was the first balanced budget in 4 years. Revenues are to include a $563.8 million ongoing transfer from the county, a one-time transfer of $20.5 million, $3.5 million in carryover funds from the 2021-22 school year, state and federal funding, and $21.3 million in reserves. School system funding in the upcoming year emphasizes compensation for staff. The school system plans to implement a new compensation plan, providing consistent increases and catching up from missed increases in the past. On average, teachers, principals, and administrators will receive a 6.8% pay increase, while support staff will receive an average 9.5% increase. The budget will reduce class size by 2 students at the elementary level and 1 student at the high school level. It will also add resources for English learners. The school system hopes to save nearly $2 million by adjusting school bell times. The changes will reduce the number of school start and end times from 8 to 5. The school board added funding for 4 psychologists and social workers, trauma-informed professional learning, the National Board Certified Teacher Program, a partnership coordinator, and a math curriculum supervisor. Other plans include kitchen upgrades, security vestibules at schools, athletic field replacements, and accessibility enhancements. New synthetic turf is to be installed at Wakefield High School in fiscal year 2023, at Washington Liberty High and Williamsburg Middle School in fiscal year 2024, and at Yorktown High School in fiscal year 2025. An HVAC replacement at Barcroft Elementary School is also under design, and Randolph Elementary's roof replacement will go to bid later this year. Other plans include upgrades to finance and HR staff software, known as STARS, replacing lock and key systems, and PA system replacements at 6 schools. That's enough news for this week. Now it's time for Community Bulletin Board, or CBB.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Our first event is called Walk and Learn Street Design with a Transportation Engineer. It's a chance to join Walk Arlington's mobile walking classroom for free walks all summer long and engage with some of Arlington's finest minds, renowned experts, and unique people. When you're out and about, you're probably not thinking about how sidewalks, land use, and street connectivity influence your experience and enjoyment of public spaces. On this walk, transportation engineer Dan Neighbors will change the way you think about planning, engineering, and design using real-world examples. Dan is the Assistant Bureau Chief for Arlington County's Transportation Engineering and Operations Bureau and a dynamic speaker who explains complex topics simply and clearly. So come ready to have fun and learn. He'll be joined by Roslyn BID Community Planning Director Allie Henry, who has collaborated with him on several recent projects in the neighborhood. Free cold drinks will be provided for all walkers at the start of the walk, courtesy of Walk Arlington. You can register this way: https://www.eventbrite.com/e/walk-learn-street-design-with-a-engineer. I wish it were simpler. Anyway, that's on Wednesday, May 25th from 5:30 to 6:45 p.m. in Roslyn at 1850 North Moore Street. Our next event is for kids in grades 6 through 8. Here's the announcement. I'm just going to read it. Hey kids, who will be the best in the West? The Westover mini golf matchup, that is. Come in and take a few swings on our mini golf course that becomes increasingly difficult with each round. No ifs, ands, or puts about it. This will be an unforgettable event. Well, that's their message, puns and all. No registration is required. Attendance is first come, first served until seating capacity is reached. For the current policies on masking, please see the Library Operations Update. You can call 703-228-5260 for more information. That's on Friday, May 27th from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. in the Longfellow Room at Westover Branch Library, 1644 North McKinley Road, Suite 3. Our next event is for families. It's called Nocturnal Nature, Sounds of Nature. It's a chance to join a naturalist for a hands-on experience to learn about the fascinating things that happen in nature once the sun goes down. There is a cost for this event. It's $5. You can register online through the Parks and Recreation website. That's on Friday, May 27th from 8 o'clock to 8:45 p.m. at Long Branch Nature Center, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Our next event is good for families with children aged 5 to 12. It's called Art and an Artist, Ruth Asawa and Her Art. In celebration of Asian American Heritage Month, here's a chance to learn about Japanese American sculptor Ruth Asawa with a story about her and her amazing wire sculptures and nature-inspired creations. Afterward, you'll get the chance to make your own creations inspired by her art. No registration is required. Attendance is first come, first served until seating capacity is reached. For the current policies on masking, please see the Library Operations Update. You can call 703-228-6545 for more information. That's on Tuesday, May 31st from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. in the Campbell Room at Shirlington Branch Library, 4200 Campbell Avenue. Our final CBB event is a chance to shop local and fresh at the Fresh Farm Roslyn Farmers Market. It happens every week from May through October in downtown Roslyn. The market is open every Wednesday from 3 to 7 p.m. at Central Place Plaza, and it's brought to you in partnership with Fresh Farm, a nonprofit that promotes sustainable agriculture and improves food access and equity in the Mid-Atlantic region. The next one's on Wednesday, May 25th from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. at Central Place Plaza, 1800 North Lynn Street. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Our first 55 Plus event is called Handling Handheld Fitness Props. It's a chance to learn how to properly utilize your handheld fitness props. For me, it's also a chance to find out just what a handheld fitness prop even is. Brittany Miller, a certified fitness instructor, will demonstrate proper techniques as well as unique ways to use your props in class and at home. Handheld weights and exercise bands will be provided. Be sure to bring your own yoga mat. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. For more information, call 703-228-4747. The activity number is 913-500-10. That's on Wednesday, May 25th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. at Lubber Run Park, North Columbus and 2nd Streets. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Next up, movies and critics. At first I thought it said movies and critters, but I reckon that's something else. Have you ever wanted to be a movie critic? Now you can. Movies and Critics is an interactive movie experience. Come just to enjoy the movie or join a critical discussion afterwards. Each month, the group will create a review for the Arlington Mill newsletter. May's movie is Savin' Mr. Banks from 2013. It's PG-13. It's about the relationship between P.L. Travers and Walt Disney during the production of the film version of her book, Mary Poppins. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 913-804-04. That's on Thursday, May 26th from 1 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. at Arlington Mill Community Center, 909 South Dinwiddie Street. Now, speaking of movies, they got another one lined up for you. This one's a part of Movies at Aurora Hills. It's a chance to enjoy classic and modern movies at Aurora Hills with fellow 55-plus friends. The movie for May is Nomadland from 2020. It's rated R, but your 55-plus membership should be okay for proof of age. It's about a woman in her 60s who loses everything in the Great Recession and goes on a journey through the American West, living in her van as a modern-day nomad. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 913-804-07, and that's on Friday, May 27th from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. at Aurora Hills Community Center, 735 18th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Our next 55 plus event is called Sunshine Gang. The band invites you to bring your instrument and musical talents and join the fun. Share your passion with others by playing rock and popular selections in a low-key, music-loving atmosphere. This is a drop-in event, so you don't have to register, and there's no activity number. Just come on down. That's on Friday, May 27th from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. at Arlington Mill Community Center, 909 South Dinwiddie Street. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. If you find you really enjoy it, this event takes place every Friday. Our next 55 plus event is from the Arlington Public Library. It's a chance to join author Allison Finkelstein as she discusses her book Forgotten Veterans, Invisible Memorials, or How American Women Commemorated the Great War, 1917 to 1945. Learn more about the pioneering American women who commemorated World War I through action-based memorial projects and who advocated for women to be recognized for their wartime service. There's no activity number, but registration is required. You can register online through the library website. For the current policies on masking, please see the Library Operations Update. For more information, you can contact Jennifer Lewis at jlewis@arlingtonva.us or Bridget Wisdom at bwisdom@arlingtonva.us. That's on Wednesday, May 25th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the Barbara M. Donnellan Auditorium at the Central Library, 1015 North Quincy Street. This event is good for ages 55 and up, but 55 plus membership is not required. Anyway, that's all I got for 55 plus news.
I'd like to add a brief cross-promotional message. Here on Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News, our program broadcasts on WERA-FM in Arlington, Virginia, several times a week. But we also want our viewers and listeners to know about some other fine programs on the same radio station. For instance, there's Classical Explorations, an excursion into some lesser-known music, narrated and curated by Dennis Siebert. Another fine show is Choose to Be Curious, a recent Hometown Media Award winner. Then there's Jabberwocky Audio Theater, a modern show that recaptures the feel of classic radio adventure. And these are only a few of the programs our listeners can find on WERA-FM, which also streams online. Not only that, but there is a television side as well. Those video programs also stream online via the Arlington Independent Media website.
And that concludes this week's show. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, and be well.
I think I'll call it crayon. I might even call it crayon, so everyone gets the idea. You know that it's got to be colorful, and I'll have the whole world to draw on. Yeah, I think I'll invent a new kind of music. I think I'll call it crayon. I'll invent a new kind of music. I think I'll call it crayon. Sometimes it might have a touch of the blues or some other color of crayon. And I can keep on repeating the title so everyone's sure to remember it. Yeah, I think I'll invent a new kind of music. I think I'll call it crayon. The flute player in silver, and the horn section gets to be gold, and the bass player gets to be purple like rain or gray if the bass is old. And there's plenty of room for the blacks and the browns, and no, we won't forget the whites. I'll have the whole rainbow and then some in the music I'm gonna call Crayon, Crayon. The string players in. I think I'll invent a new kind of music. I think I'll call it Crayon, Crayon, for every religion and politic, so we won't fear the yellow peril, and we won't worry about the red menace, and sometimes we'll party with the greens. All right, I think I'll invent a new kind of music. I think I'll call it Crayon, Crayon. When will the choir shout? I'll invent a new kind of music. I think I'll call it Crayon, Crayon. The lyrics won't be too suggestive, but the rhythm is nice and smooth. And if you play it for your lover, you know that they'll get the picture. Yeah, I think I'll invent a new kind of music. I think I'll call it Crayon, Crayon.